by popular demand, is Tokyo Godfathers. And by popular, I mean like one guy in my comments section. So, hey, shout out to you, Francisco. And before you ask, no, I don't plan on talking about these other ones. I can't really review them if I don't have access to them. Alright, so real talk, I was actually sick for a good while in November, which set my December schedule back by a large margin, so I had to delay one of my planned vids to another date. But to make up for it, here's another review for you. And 'tis the season perfect for this movie, so yeah, extra Ani-vember. Ani-vember, I guess. Tokyo Godfathers is probably Satoshi Kon's most okayest film, not having a great story or atmosphere like his past works, but it's still a fine experience for an afternoon. But oddly enough, as okay as I'm making it sound, it is an impressively important film for the time it came out. And to be fair, I still watch it every December for a spirited, albeit unconventional holiday treat. On Christmas Eve, 3 homeless people, an old man, a transgender woman, and a runaway teen girl, stumble upon an abandoned baby in the snowy cold. They debate as to whether to keep the baby as a sign from God or to properly find its parents if they can. As they journey with this child, they find themselves wrapped up in numerous happenstances that frequently separate them from one another, that force them to go onward on their little side stories that open up bits and pieces to the histories they need to confront. How will this one night usually forgiving to the unfortunate change their lives? And who exactly is saving who? The film is, in short, a small-scale experience. Sure, there's a lot happening, but for what it is, the story itself is a deep reflection on the human condition in times of need and in times of help, which is a nice change of pace in what is an otherwise chaotic world we see and live in every day. The film doesn't need to be big and bombastic or have hard-thinking, over-observant ideas behind it. Our characters behave in very down-to-earth but real sarcasm that adds to the comedy and the tone of the environment around them. Of course, this was one of the most prominent films of the time to star a trans person in a leading role, and she's a loving, genuine character, even if she's established in some stereotypes. Hana, the trans woman, is flamboyant and wants to keep the baby for her motherly instincts, but is also a considerate, no-nonsense kind woman who does do the right thing even if it's against her maternal aptitude. I like how they portray her for who she is. It's very clever in cluing you into her past with a rather melancholic outlook with regrets, but nonetheless proud of where she is by being who she is. She's a very touching and sympathetic character to follow. Likewise, the other 2 leads are very fun to be around while also maintaining the sense of humanity and pity, as their histories are uncovered over time but never fully explained, really opening up to this idea that these are people with pasts they don't like talking about, while giving a glimpse into the themes of this happening to anyone. When it comes to the attitude of the movie, it's Kon's most genuine in terms of imagery and setting. There's very little exploding of imagination or trickery to the eye with psychological atmosphere. It's very matter-of-fact, and is very good in establishing these characteristics of just letting the realism flow. And of course, it is still a Christmas movie, as it's set around the holiday, embodying the spirit of Christmas in ways like kindness to your fellow man, doing what's right for you and others, and all around just living life being the best person you can be. While they aren't hard lessons, the atmosphere and the light bitterness the imagery of the snow gives do pile on to that warm, fuzzy feeling of being thankful for what you have. And just as a side note, maybe you could argue there's some parallelism to Baby Jesus, the 3 wise men, and trying to find guidance on the day it's most prominent. I don't know, I think you could find something there. If Tokyo Godfathers is anything, it's that it's genuine. Not Kon's best, but it is still a Kon film at the end of the day. It's sweet, tragic, funny, over the top, subtle, and a calming watch with good highlights to it. The climax is tons of fun and I look forward to it every watch. But for what it is, it's really an okay but necessary film for around the holidays. Let this film help you in finding your own way, and have a Merry Christmas.